We welcome you to Lubbock, Texas. Big 12 battle between the number 5 team of the country, Texas, taking on Texas Tech. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle. Texas Tech opened up completely out of sorts. Couldn't score, but they have finally found a rhythm. Rick Barnes, his team is riding an 8-game winning streak. Right now, Jimmy, maybe the hottest team in the country. They know that a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament well within their reach. Free throw missed from Mike Singletary, the freshman from Humboldt, Texas, for Texas Tech. A 2-point lead for the Longhorns.
And the other part of this too, Ian, with Texas Tech coming off Wednesday's smothering by Texas A&M, where they lost by 44 points. Pat Knight, the coach of Texas Tech, was just hoping that he could throw enough switches, the defense, and get his team out there and challenge so they would at least compete.
Abrams a 3. Count it. A.J. Abrams, the all-time leader in three-pointers made in Texas Longhorns basketball history.
And one of the strategies by Texas Tech is not to leave him alone at any cost. And what they've done already is they've left him alone for an open jumpers.
21-17, Texas with the lead. Trevor Cook has come in and has made plays inside. Zeno rejected by James. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Tech.
Well, the activity has picked up. As you touched on a moment ago, the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game, Tech could not get anything going at the offensive end of the floor. Their confidence looks a little better. Their crispness of passing looks a little bit better. But that trip right there, Zeno underneath and tangled up really with a couple of bodies falling around him.
Texas comes in with a record of 24-4. They own the top spot in the Big 12 at 11-2 in conference play. Abrams. And it's rebounded by Zeno for Texas Tech. Up the floor in a hurry. Texas gets back defensively. Cook lines it up. And rebound controlled by Mason of the Longhorns. Met there by Voskuhl. Just past the midway point of this first half. Mason, good find and a foul called. Hard foul as Clint Chapman took the hit. The freshman. Pat Knight, 3-4 since taking over for his dad, the Hall of Famer Bob Knight. Pat Knight was not happy with the team's effort, and how could he be in that loss the other night at Texas A&M, 98-54. Thursday practice was very taxing for this Red Raider team.
Almost in the sense of a boot camp, if you will. Just working them, testing them to try to build character, to try to build team, family, all the cliche words you want to throw at them. And I think there's been a carryover effect, and he was happy with yesterday's practice because of that.
Largest lead so far for Texas at 6. On a kickout, Singletary to Robertson. Matched up with Augustine, maybe the best playmaker in the nation. Finds the open man, Zeno, no. Rebounded by Chapman.
That's one of the things Texas Tech did not do on Wednesday night. Hit open shots as an errant pass. You don't see too many of them coming down the floor by Augustine.
Trying to make the connection with Mason. Out of bounds at the 9:17 mark of this first half. Texas finished the month of February undefeated, 8-0. First time in 45 years. Zeno on a spin. Good double. Voskuhl. Oh, he got hit by Chapman. Off the pump fake. And the freshman from Canby, Oregon picks up his first foul. Updated Big 12 standings, the top 5. Texas at 11-2, Kansas at 10-3, Kansas State, Baylor, Texas A&M, all NCAA tournament type teams, with other teams within the conference feeling like they have a legitimate shot. And it's going the other way. Abrams took a hit. It'll be Voskuhl picking up his first.
Just a little too eager to get himself open. A great three-point shooter. That time trying to cut through the lane, but running over the defender. And just to tag your point about Texas and their 8-0 run, defensively is where Rick Barnes has been ecstatic in terms of the way they've changed things around. Normally, a team that you think of, an offensive team going up and down the floor, they're just shutting people down at the defensive end.
Wins over Tennessee, UCLA, Kansas, the heavy hitters. Here's Augustine, and loses the ball. Zeno there defensively, looking for some help.
Yeah, good decision right there not to try to take it all away.
Robertson. and gets the roll on the 3-ball.
And that's what you get when you don't force the action. You find a youngster who shoots it at 41% from the three-point stripe. Decisions are so important for this Texas Tech team.
Red Raiders are 4 of 7 from three-point territory. 8-minute mark of this first half. A 3-point Longhorns lead. Trying to turn the corner, Augustine, and the foul called on Cook. More to come from Lubbock. Let's head to New York right now. I'm Greg Gumbel.
Ian, thanks very much. We'll get you back to Lubbock, but first let's check in once again into Marquette and Georgetown in overtime in Milwaukee. We'll take you there live under 2 minutes to play in the OT. Gus Johnson and Clark Kellogg.
Hibbert is there, but a foul prior to the shot.
Sometimes, partner, you just have to be fortunate. And John Wallace was there, fighting the shot clock. Well defended. Then at the opposite end, on the next possession, Wallace able to get a little penetration, and Summers now has a chance to put the Hoyas on top.
And he does. Summers 1 for 2 from the line. He now has 5 points. Freeman checks out, replaced by Rivers.
Gus, have you ever seen in your years of broadcasting a team that threw it away as much as Georgetown
Never.
did in this game and still never seemed to be rattled?
Never. Second
Really a
free throw
unique
good.
quality. I mean, the turnovers, and some of that you have to attribute to Marquette. Their speed, anticipation, the preparation and defending cuts. Give them credit. And yet you have to give Georgetown credit for just maintaining poise. And part of that is the confidence you get from winning close games. And the fact that you get your seniors to come up large when you need it. Jonathan Wallace, Patrick Ewing Jr., Tyler Crawford in his short stints on the floor here today. Roy Hibbert. Those are all seniors, upperclassmen.
Now James. McNeil. Berg back to McNeil. Pinned inside. And jump ball the call. So Marquette will hold on with 11 to shoot. 1:30 on the game clock in overtime. This game was tied up at 63 apiece at the end of regulation. Now the shot clock resets to 35 because the ball was wedged between the backboard and the rim. Fitzgerald, long-range shooter in the game now. McNeil spinning, loose. Summers with yet another rebound.
Pretty good look from McNeil there. Had plenty of time on the shot clock. Nonetheless, I think that's a good aggressive shot attempt.
Wallace. Shoot. Patrick Ewing Jr. And it's kicked out of bounds. The shot clock will reset to 15 with 56.1 to go in the game clock here in overtime. Don't forget, coming up next, more college basketball here on CBS. Texas Tech, Mississippi State, Florida. Hibbert. Driving, spinning. Got it up, no, but a foul.
How about that move there, Gus? He's gone to the right-hand hook shot just about every time from that block. Went to the counter that time, came back to the left, to the right shoulder with the left hand.
48 seconds to play there. We'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, time to get you back to Lubbock. Ian Eagle and Jim Spinarkle, Texas and Texas Tech.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. 7:18 to play in this first half. The number 5 team in the country, Texas, leading Texas Tech 23-20. Texas with only 4 losses this season to Michigan State, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Texas A&M. That was their last loss. Getting to the hoop, James couldn't finish it. Out of bounds, it's going the other way.
A tough spot to land on the floor. He slid right off the court, and that's where the ball ended up coming to him. But so far, Texas Tech has done a nice job on Augustine with those high screens that they love. Texas, they just love to let him dictate the tempo, the flow, the decision-making of the game.
This is a series that dates back to 1940.
Texas looking 2-3 zone right now. Good spot in the middle of the floor. There it is again.
Singletary to the hoop. Swatted away by James. Tracked down by Zeno. 8 to shoot. Robertson. He's got to look at the clock. The floater. Banks it in.
Well, you love to see the recognition of the clock. Sometimes you get a little prayer answered going through the middle. But the youngster, once again, making a good decision right there to at least get a shot up.
Texas lead is down to 1. Here's the talented freshman Gary Johnson, who has been very active. On the baseline, no. And it's rebounded by Soljadic. Voskuhl up the floor. Chance to take the lead.
I think Texas Tech is just turning down some shots. There's some looks that they have. They just have to be ready to catch and shoot. That's what they were working on yesterday in practice.
Robertson tried to force one to Voskuhl. This is James. He lays it in.
Good work on the wings. One of the things Texas prides itself in this 8-game winning streak that they have is the way they're shutting teams down, switching their defenses a little bit right now in that 2-3 look.
Long three. Rims out for Robertson. 25-22, Texas. We come up on the 5-minute mark in this first half. Johnson again, the back it. Chapman on a pass inside. Well executed as the freshman gets it to James.
And that's because Gary Johnson has been very active in this ball game at the offensive end of the floor.
And a turnover, Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's one that Pat Knight just can't stand, and I don't blame him as a coach. Yesterday when we were watching their practice on, they were throwing the ball around a little too carelessly. He stopped practice 3 or 4 times to go over that. Just against a team as high quality as Texas is, you cannot afford to throw it away uncontested.
He got after it.
Yeah, more than once.
7 first half turnovers. Augustine to the hoop. Oh, the strength of Augustine to stick with it. But Johnson comes up lame. Gary Johnson is hobbled. Break opportunity for Texas. Augustine, the bounce. And James. Clean block. Zeno got back to make the play.
Johnson's back in the play also right now. Ian is going to play this offensive set.
And a foul called on the push.
Well, a terrific challenge here. No dribble necessary for that delivery, but a terrific step-in block. Look at Zeno get off the floor and time it perfectly as a lefty, using that strong hand across the body, missing the body, but getting that left on right.
Voskuhl picks up the foul. Mason at the free throw line, a 65% shooter. From out Amarillo, Texas. Defensive-minded guard, top perimeter defender on this roster. Described as a glue guy by his head coach, Rick Barnes. Doesn't seek the spotlight. And just does what's asked of him. Lane violations are the second free throw nullified.
Yeah, and the other thing about Mason is that ability to rebound the basketball also.
Johnson appears to be okay.
Yeah, he lifted one time down the floor. I thought they'd call a timeout when they had it, but he shook it off.
It's a 7-0 run for Texas. Burgess now in there, the senior guard. And a foul called as Zeno made his move going to the hoop. It will be Mason picking up his first. 17 fouls on each squad. 30-22, Texas with the lead. 4:11 to play in this first half. Let's go back to New York. Greg Gumbel.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Under 10 seconds to play. Let's listen in to Georgetown Marquette, the finish.
Oh, they turn it over, and that'll do it. Georgetown somehow will get out of town with a 70-68 win in overtime. Our Chevrolet players of the game.
Technical foul has been called here on Justin Mason, sending Voskuhl to the free throw line for Texas Tech.
Just a little excess running of the mouth eye, and he'll pick up a foul on that and a team foul also. And more importantly, you get a couple of good looks there by an 82% free throw shooter.
And Mason still upset at the call.
And probably just Another add-on to that is the fans get a little bit more riled in here. They've been loud to begin with since the first 4 minutes went by, and they're starting to get into it a little bit more and more as this first half progresses.
And Al Mason's going to get a rest, replaced by the senior J.D. Lewis for the Longhorns.
That's a good substitution by Rick Barnes.
Another one coming for Martin Zeno, a 75% shooter. 3-year starter for this Red Raider team. He's been a bit inconsistent this season. His numbers at home impressive, on the road not so much.
Yeah, but the leader in the Big 12 and getting to the free throw line and making shots at the free throw line. So he's a slasher, he's a driver, and I would anticipate that he'd get more active going to the basket as we see this 2-2-1 slowdown, just to take a little time off the clock and not allow Texas to get up and down the floor. And they go back into, right now it looks like an extended zone.
So off the 4-point possession for Texas Tech, here's Johnson. Open look, no good. James jarred it loose, trying to save it. Into the Texas Tech bench, out of bounds. So a timeout with 3:49 to play in this first half. Texas 30, Texas Tech 26. So this Texas team took the first meeting between these two squads back on January the 26th. 73-47 in Austin. DJ Augustine had 19 points, 5 assists. Currently have a 1-game lead on Kansas for the #1 spot in the Big 12 Conference. Coming up, they do have home games against Nebraska and Oklahoma State. We've got 3:49 to play in the first half. Texas, the #5 team in the nation, leading Texas Tech 30-26. Jim, this Longhorn team, I'm not sure how people thought they would respond without Kevin Durant, the #2 pick overall in the NBA draft, the National Player of the Year. But this team has been incredibly balanced, and as Rick Barnes told us before the game today, much better than they were a year ago on the defensive end.
The defensive end is what's really happened for them, and I think the key thing was without Durant.
Trust. It's everything. Nobody hands out trust. Talent is one thing. Combine talent with people you trust, and you will walk on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
The Hartford, a company built on nearly 200 years of trust. Ask your advisor what the Hartford can do to help you plan for your future. Because you're not preparing to retire, you're preparing to live.
Welcome to a televised performance of the National Symphony. We will be hearing Beethoven's Ninth, and the conductor will be replaced by the rapper 50 Cent, who after drinking vitamin water Formula 50, decided to give this a try. And it sounds like he's integrated his hit into Club Extraordinary.
Vitamin water, try.
Today's game is being brought to you in HD TV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television and mobile media. Take a look at who's on the court for Texas. It's James, Augustine, Lewis, Abrams, and the freshman Johnson. Texas Tech, Zeno, Burgess, Voskuhl, Singletary, and Soljagic. Well, this Texas Tech squad got shellacked the other night in Texas A&M, 98-54. They shot 33% from the field. Certainly a bounce back from that in this first half, playing with a lot more energy and a lot more confidence. On the pass-off, foul called. Zeno will head to the free throw line. It will be Johnson picking up his second personal.
And I know you watched the game, as did I on Wednesday night, and I don't know about you, but that was just an uncomfortable game to watch. On their behalf. Not that you had a rooting interest one way or another, but watching those guys get pummeled like that, you just kind of like said, wow, I mean, where do you go from here? And I am totally shocked at the energy level, the enthusiasm that they've brought to the court today, only a couple of days later after that 44-point deficit.
Well, we talked to Pat Knight yesterday about it. He said, look, I didn't want to go cosmetic and bring all my starters back in and try to make it a 20 or 25-point game. He knew what was happening,
Right.
and he knew it was a crossroads game for his team to learn something about themselves. That's why he ended up playing a walk-on, guys deeper on his bench as well. A lesson was learned as they turn it over on the other end. Texas, the freshman, Alexi Wanmeni.
And Pat and I did mention also if he were in other towns, college towns, he probably wouldn't have gone out of the house, but this town here was where they received them well, so don't worry about it, coach, get the next one.
Yep, they backed him up.
Yeah.
6-0 run for Texas Tech. Back door, Vosco. There was contact, fans here wanted a call.
It was a tough catch to begin with, so he never was able to get his leg strength to put some strength into that shot.
We hit the 3-minute mark in this first half. 2-point Texas lead. Augustine gives it up. Jumper, Lewis, count it, a 3.
Augustine is so good. That's one of the things that Texas Tech was trying to control, his ability to really direct, to lead this team. He's just about as good a point guard off the dribble now with his decisions.
Burgess on a crossover. Lewis sticks with him. Soljagic to the hoop. And the foul.
Well, big fella turning down the 15-foot jump shot, but one big dribble and going to the basket. Yeah, Texas Tech has turned down that look, but nobody's stepping in quickly enough for Texas. Nice little drive to the basket for the traditional N1. Where's the close? It's a little late from Texas's perspective.
So Damir Soljagic, a 58% free throw shooter. Chance to complete the three-point play. And rebound control by Texas, Wanmeni. (33-30), Texas in front, 2:25 to go in this first half. Augustine, great move, and the finish, +1.
That's just what I mentioned a moment ago, and that ability to use the screen and dictate what's going on. He's terrific at it. They're trying to get him a high screen up top. When they get the screen here, they think that he's going to go right. He's a right-handed player, but he's just as good going to his left. And look at him finding, searching for a body contact, and then finishing it off. And that's one of the things, and probably one of the reasons you'll see Pat Knight switch it up a little bit to that 2-3 zone that they've implemented.
DJ Augustine, this week named an academic All-American, a 4.0 GPA in the fall semester. Augustine averaging 19 points, 6 assists per game. He's got 13 to lead all scorers here today. Contact, Zeno, they'll count it, and the foul.
Well, there's a reason he gets to the free throw line a lot, and that's because he knows how to play this game. And watch it, talk about body language down the other end with Augustine. Watch how he gathers the ball and now looks for the contact and then pulls it away at the last second. The ability to drive, just a touch, and then compose yourself and put the ball in.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Greg Gumbel, Seth Davis will get you caught up on all the latest scores and highlights. Plus an AT&T Naismith Watch Update. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Foul was originally called on Abrams, who was nowhere near the play. It was DJ Augustine who was down there defensively, and it will be Augustine picking up the personal. Officials take care of that. Curtis Shaw, Tom Eads, and Terry Moore are crew here this afternoon. We'll hit the 2-minute mark of this first half. 3-point differential. James fires, no.
Whoa, wow.
Wanmeni took a shot.
He sure did. But, you know, the big guy right there, give him credit. He sets that high screen and doesn't stand around and watch the show. He goes right down the gut looking for opportunities.
Vosco picks up his third personal foul. And he exits with 7 points on 2 of 5 from the field. The team's second leading scorer this season. Here is Alexi Wanmeni, a 72% free throw shooter, originally from the Cameroon. And missed it, front end of the 1-and-1, rebounded by Singletary.
This is where Texas Tech just has to be patient on. If they don't have the break, run their sets and make sure you don't turn the ball over. Oh, close.
Abrams, good denial. Ball coming our way as Cook tumbles over the table.
Stay here, you'll get on TV.
Saved by Jim Spinarkle.
You all right?
Yeah. Get a little help here. Thanks. You might have noticed I did not flinch.
You didn't flinch.
Yeah.
Because he was coming right at me.
I'll take a look at our game summary. I think that qualifies for our on-camera for the day. 36-33, Texas in front. Three-point shooting. Both teams have shot it well. Augustine, the high man with 13. Zeno leading Texas Tech with 10. You okay here?
Well, I'm just thinking I might have pulled something here. Who do I report that to back at CBS?
Let's take another look at Trevor Cook, the 6'8", 225 sophomore.
See how I have him lined up right there? Look at you.
My job is to call the play, Jim. That's what I'm hired to do.
Duck me just then.
And Many's free throw is off the mark. 37-33. Singletary, pump fake in a crowd. Nicely done by the freshman from Humboldt, Texas. This is a two-point game with 1:20 to go in the first half. On the entry, Dexter Pittman, no. Many can't get it to drop. And here comes Texas Tech. Zeno looking for the open man. Robertson gives it up. Burgess, count it for the lead.
Well, not only did they bury it for the lead, but how about the decisions on that possession? Boy, was that terrific. No shooting of the basketball by two players working it around and forcing Texas to find the outside shooter, which they came up short.
It is the first lead of the afternoon for Texas Tech. Up by 1.
Here, Daddy.
Sweet pea, apple of my eye.
More bars in more places.
Look, Daddy sent us a picture.
That's what you can expect from AT&T, the largest digital voice and data network in America.
You're the only reason I keep on coming home.
Switch to the network you can trust, AT&T. Get our exclusive Walkman slider for only $49.99.
Access CV on your wireless AT&T phone to watch the complete Coach's Corner video and exclusive NCAA March Madness highlights. United Spirit Arena, raucous. 38-37, Texas Tech. Abrams trying to quiet the crowd. Missed it for three.
Oh, a little rattled that possession, wouldn't you say? They were in a hurry to get a shot off.
8-1 run. Rizvich in there. Denied, but a foul called. Ishmir Rizvich going to the free throw line.
Yeah, this is where Pat Knight and company would hope that there would be no halftime break. And the way they're playing right now, they'd say, you know what, let's forget about the break and just keep playing this. They've got the rhythm, they've got the momentum right now, and they've got the belief that they can handle Texas, and it's only one half, though.
Rizvich, a 47% free throw shooter, member of the Bosnian national team. Look at the Big 12 standings. There is Texas perched at the top, 11-2, 24-4 overall, a one-game lead over Kansas. And Texas Tech at 6-7, 15-12 overall. They are 12-2 at home. It's a team that's had 18 different starting lineups this season. Off the miss, Robertson controls it. And a 6-second difference, shot clock to game clock.
Well, since 01-02 season, they've won 84% of their games at home, so there is the belief.
It is a 9-1 run for the Red Raiders. Taking their time here, Robertson, watched by Abrams. Baseline, Singletary.
Wow.
Oh, tough angle.
Boy, you talk about the traffic and the strength coming from nowhere. Look at Augustine trying to bait a foul here.
8 seconds left. Pittman with 5. Down to 3 seconds left. Augustine lets it fly. Short. And the first half in the books here in Lubbock. 41-37. Texas Tech in front. They end the half on an 11-1 run against the number 5 team in the country. We'll send you to Greg Gumbel in New York with AT&T at the half. After these messages, you're watching CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.
Going going over and over? It's not just you. Stopping and starting? Going urgently? You're not alone. Lots of guys experience male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also known as an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax may relieve urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. And who doesn't want to spend less time in the bathroom? Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Do what millions of guys have already done. Ask your doctor about Flomax and call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. Why wait? Join the crowd. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Most of the people we built the M-Class for will never drive across the desert.
Most people will never need windshield wipers that perform at Autobahn speeds.
Most people will never make a mountain rescue.
We'll never need the strength of over 5,000 welds or scale a 70% slope.
But the truth is, some will.
And knowing that, we cannot engineer anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Than a true Mercedes-Benz. Than a true Mercedes-Benz.
I'm Greg Gumbel in New York, coming up on AT&T at the half. Scores and highlights and a historic win for Duke's Mike Krzyzewski after this message and a word from your local station.
Most of the people we built the M-Class for will never drive across the desert.
Most people will never need windshield wipers that perform at Autobahn speeds.
Most people will never make a mountain rescue.
We'll never need the strength of over 5,000 welds or scale a 70% slope.
But the truth is, some will.
And knowing that, we cannot engineer anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Than a true Mercedes-Benz. Than a true Mercedes-Benz.
Watch every game from the NCAA Championship live online for free with NCAA March Madness on demand.
Yes! Stop!
But please, use with caution.
How I Met Your Mother returns with all new episodes. CBS, Monday, March 17th.
With stuffed crust pizza, you can't go straight for all that cheese in there.
Right.
It's America's favorite stuffed crust pizza with loads of melty cheese stuffed inside. Specially priced at just $11.99. Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
So, Gus, just how fast is your new broadband from AT&T?
AT&T is taking the speed of broadband to a whole new level. Call to get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet for the everyday low price of $19.95 a month. That's not an introductory price. Act now to find out how to get $50 cash back, plus get a free DSL modem after rebate on select speeds when ordered online. With AT&T, you get the fastest internet for the price. And with the nation's largest Wi-Fi network, you get more high speed in more places.
About that fast.
So call to get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet for the everyday low price of $19.95 a month. And that's not an introductory price. Act now to find out how to get $50 cash back, plus get a free DSL modem after rebate on select speeds when ordered online.
So, Gus, you like your new AT&T broadband? So how fast is that?
AT&T, your world delivered.
With stuffed crust pizza, you can't go straight for all that cheese in there.
Right.
It's America's favorite stuffed crust pizza with loads of melty cheese stuffed inside. Specially priced at just $11.99. Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
Great clothes, great look. Dollar Western wear.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half. Your world delivered.
Welcome back to AT&T at the half, everyone. Let's take a look at more scores and highlights, and we'll begin with the game in Raleigh between Duke and NC State. John Shire to DeMarcus Nelson for 3, and Duke is back to within 2 of the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Duke was down 11. Somehow they pulled this one out. Greg Paulus ties it up at 85 all. Ben McCauley, the desperation 3 won't go. Group hug, everybody. Mike Krzyzewski wins career number 800.
I've just been very fortunate, very lucky to be in the presence of so many of the great people in our game. And you should learn some of those things if you're around them enough, and I've been around them a lot.
NC State blew a 13-point second-half lead. In the Big East, West Virginia at UConn. Doug Wiggins down low to Jeff Adrian, finished with the dunk, 62-46 Huskies.
West Virginia had a chance to clinch a tournament bid, but like a lot of teams playing at UConn this year, it wasn't enough. Craig Austria going to get in the lane, bank one home. UConn looking like a Final Four team.
They've won 12 of 13. Northwestern at Purdue. Terrence Crump to Robbie Hummel in the corner. Hummel with a 3:48-34 Boilermakers.
Northwestern hung around for about a half, Greg. From there was all Boilermakers. Chris Kramer there with the lane, and then one of those excellent freshmen, Scott Martin, buries the three, and Purdue coach.
Purdue has won 13 of 14. Texas A&M at Oklahoma. A&M cold during an Oklahoma 19-0 run into halftime. 0 for 16 from the field in the last 12:49 of the first half.
They didn't score that many more points than you and I did today, Greg. Easy one for Oklahoma. Hey, the Sooners are going to the tournament.
Meanwhile, Pitt at Syracuse. Johnny Flynn, 28 points on the day, including this three here. Syracuse led by 1 down the stretch. Here's the call.
Oh, a steal by Young. Off to Benjamin. Layup shot, score at 9 seconds left. Syracuse is down 1. Ahead to Flynn. Flynn, forecourt. He dribble drives, kicks it out of the corner. The three ball is up and it's no good. 1 second left. The Panthers are going to win this game at the Dome.
Pittsburgh with an 18-2 run to beat Syracuse. And AT&T at the half will continue right after this.
These dogs use their noses to find things that are hidden. I'm also trained to find things that hide, like the internet, using the AT&T Laptop Connect card. Boom, internet found, hiding like a tiny criminal. Customer needs a widget, access inventory at mobile broadband speed, widget ordered, widget delivered, customer happy. Hurrah!
The internet can't hide anymore. Get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free and work in more places worldwide than anyone else. AT&T, your world delivered.
One great car leads to another, leads to another. The Mitsubishi Lancer. Hop in. It's go time.
You see firemen battling smoke. We saw a new technology coming to the rescue, offering a smart investment. Perspective like this has made Franklin a leader in equity investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
If you want to do great things in your world, spend some time in ours.
Retirement isn't just about spending endless hours enjoying warm tropical waters. It's not even just about leaping and jumping for joy because you planned ahead smartly. And it's not even about sharing time with family and friends over a great meal whenever you want. Or is it? It's time to start thinking about tomorrow. Ask your financial professional about Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Okay, guys, American chicks love the foreign accent. Go.
You have the thighs of a Sherpa.
Say hi.
Hi.
No, not hi, hi, hi.
Hi, hi, hi.
She has your eyes. Watch the master do it, boys. Hello. You are so very sexy.
Sorry. I'm with someone.
Would like. Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
We make sandwich, I am meat.
The best place on television to see every game in the tournament is with Mega March Madness on DirecTV. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to AT&T at the half. I'm Greg Gumbel. Our score at halftime in Lubbock, Texas Tech over Texas 41-37. I'm joined once again by Seth Davis. Let's run down the scores and the scoreboard now. Mississippi State at Florida. Barry Stewart will miss the long jumper here, but center Charles Rhodes cleans up and makes the layup. 14-4 MSU.
Florida really needs a quality win to seal their bid to the tournament. So far, it's been all Mississippi State. That's Tyler Hansborough's little brother, Ben, on the slashing move, and then Brian Johnson, the bucket, and the foul. Bulldogs lead it.
How about the game earlier on CBS? Georgetown and Marquette Boy, I'll tell you, these teams battle tooth and nail. Hard to tell which one deserved it.
Well, you know, Marquette just gave it away at the foul line, Greg. Only 22 for 36, and Jonathan Wallace, besides that bank shot in overtime, hit 3 foul shots at the end of regulation to send it into overtime. A sloppy game. Somehow, Georgetown prevailed.
What a killer of a loss for the Golden Eagles of Marquette. North Carolina, Boston College. You ever hear of Tyrese Rice of the Eagles? There's a 3. And here's a 3. Anybody want to guard this guy? Here's a 3.
I'm noticing a pattern to these highlights, Greg. How about 34 points just in the first half? That's only 3 fewer points than Texas A&M had in their game today. North Carolina slid them down a little bit here so far in the second half. Tywan Lawson is playing for the Heels, but with limited minutes, and they are in trouble.
Conference USA, Memphis and Southern Miss. A little pushing and shoving. Joey Dorsey in the middle of it. All very silly, but they finally got the game underway.
And Antonio Anderson. Why is it always Joey Dorsey in the mix on these things, by the way? It must be some kind of odd coincidence, I think. Willie Kemp, boy, he's playing pretty well for Memphis, lengthening their bench heading into the postseason, which is what you want. But so far, Southern Miss hanging tough, only down by 3 at the half.
Speaking of the Tigers, one of them is featured in the Naismith Watch presented by AT&T. Let's talk about Chris Douglas-Roberts.
You know who it's going to be, CDR. What a sensational season he's having. Has really improved his three-point shooting. For my money, he is a first-team All-American. He leads Conference USA in field goal shooting. Had the big play at the end of the UAB game to win the game. CDR, one of the best.
You can register by texting the word VOTE to 87654 on your AT&T wireless phone. Voting for this year's winner begins when the 4 finalists are announced March 23rd. For more information, log on to cbssports.com. Back to the scoreboard. Number 22, Washington State at number 8, Stanford. This is Taylor Richesky with a 3, and Washington State jumped off to a 5-point lead.
Cougars trying to pull off the road win. This is Brooke Lopez finishing the alley-oop for Stanford, but so far it's been all Washington State in the first half. Derek Lowe has 14 points. Both these teams are tournament teams looking for a high seed.
Stanford 15-1 at home, and Vanderbilt at Arkansas. Nice little alley-oop there to Sonny Weems.
And of course, Shane Foster had 32 in the big win over Tennessee. This is a huge game for Arkansas, Greg. If they can win here, I think they would definitely be in the tournament, and so far so good. Sonny Weems going to drain the 3, and they're up in the half. They need to maintain it.
All right, Seth, and thank you for watching AT&T at the half. We'll get you back out to the second half of Texas and Texas Tech after this.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half. Your world delivered.
Your evil army is complete.
Now, nothing can stop me from building my own Capital One credit card.
Make my rewards double point and a low interest rate.
What?
And I want a picture of kittens on it.
War kittens?
Just like regular cute kittens, baby cats.
Introducing Capital One Card Lab. Customize your card by choosing your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Prices they got in here. $8 candy bar, $11 for a can or 2. Now, it's prices like these that's keeping folks from living the high life. Sir, where's your beer section? Thank you. A good, honest beer at a tasty price. That's what we stand for. Clean up on aisle common sense. Hey, let me grab this. That's how we do it. Get in and out, boy. You just lost your right to sell Miller High Life is what you did.
Most of the people we built the M-Class for will never drive across the desert.
Most people will never need windshield wipers that perform at Autobahn speeds.
Most people will never make a mountain rescue.
We'll never need the strength of over 5,000 welds or scale a 70% slope.
But the truth is, some will.
And knowing that, we cannot engineer anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Anything less.
Than a true Mercedes-Benz. Than a true Mercedes-Benz.
Catch every game of the first 3 rounds in their entirety with Mega March Madness as DirecTV supplements CBS's coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
TV's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men, returns with new episodes Monday, March 17th.
So, it's advanced TV service from AT&T, huh? Wow. How you like it?
Oh, man. I love it.
The power was out last night, but we still had our phone.
Oh, come on. You won again? You're fast.
Yeah, just call me Mr. High Speed.
This AT&T Everyday Low Bundle price starts low
and stays low.
Switch today to get home phone and high-speed internet plus your choice of advanced TV or wireless for under $99 a month. Act now to get up to $150 cash back with qualifying services. That's the reliability of AT&T Home Phone, the fastest internet for the price, and your choice of advanced TV with access to more HD channels than cable, or wireless with more bars in more places. Switch today to get what you want for under $99 a month.
Now that's low.
Act now to get up to $150 cash back with qualifying services.
She said it was a drop call? Yeah, and I acted all like, whatever.
AT&T, your world, delivered.
We'll design your sign at UDog Graphics.
CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by the new Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet? DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. And by Miller High Life. Good, honest beer at a tasty price. Getting ready for second half action with Texas Tech in front 41-37. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinark. It's been a tremendous atmosphere here in Lubbock. It's hard to believe this is the same team that got throttled by 44 points the other night at Texas A&M.
Well, it is a little easier, Ian, coming back on your home floor because the energy level and the fans just kind of don't let you get yourself down, let the energy level get down real low. So they've played well. They've shut Texas down in certain aspects of the game. And also, I think, shooting the basketball, they're real comfortable.
All right, let's take a look at the first half stats. They are brought to you by Flomax. 5 of 11 from three-point range for Texas. Meanwhile, Texas Tech, best three-point shooting team in the conference, finishes at 5 of 10, 52% overall. Turnovers a big key as well.
Well, they are because, you know, you look at 6 for Texas. They turn it over only 9 times a game. That's the best in the nation. So a little rattled every so often in that first half. Let's see if they can compose themselves. Augustine with 4 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic of him in a half.
Second half action underway here in Lubbock. There's Charlie Burgess, hit that big 3 before the end of the first half for Tech. Zeno trying to get the step. Ball movement, Voskuhl. Augustine closes in. Zeno, little fake, but look at the jerseys surrounding him, burnt orange. Going to the hoop. How about that move by Burgess? They'll wave it off. Offensive foul on the senior Charlie Burgess.
Well, unfortunately, the drive starts pretty far out on the floor, and when you have that, it allows defenders to step across and see you coming. Now, once again, in the college game, you're allowed to stand under the basket and square yourself up and take the hit. At the next level up, you're not allowed, so sometimes that's the toughest call for an official on the floor.
9th turnover for Texas Tech. Augustine.
Well, yeah, that's a good call. Nobody got that. Augustine rolled that right off his hands out of bounds.
Tried the dribble handoff to Mason, but not on the same page. So another Texas turnover. Robertson going hard to the hole. Didn't have enough English on it. And out of bounds, Soljagic could not gather in cleanly. Rick Barnes talked about DJ Augustine and the stretch that he's been on. Went through a bit of a sluggish period where he just couldn't make shots consistently. They kept telling him, shoot the open shots. Don't get down on yourself. And Augustine has absolutely recovered from that. 55% from the field the last 3 games. And they turn it over again. Traveling is the call.
Augustine just a little too quick that time. I mean, he had a nice little cut towards the basket. Well, he just seems a little pestered out front.
Robertson off the drive. Burgess short on a 3. Connor Ratchley's pass intercepted. Here's Burgess. Ball movement. Voskuhl open look. Book it. That's a 3.
That's a great play by Burgess, too. Not getting down on himself after missing a shot from the corner. Once again, Texas Tech has given the crowd here a lot to cheer about to stay behind them.
And the denial by Zeno. Voskuhl the other way. Robertson steps into it.
Oh, a little push-off, I think, by Augustine.
They had position on the inside, and Charlie Burgess forced the issue as Augustine used the body. Well, defensively, we talked about the improvement last year to this year. Look at the numbers today compared to the last 4 games.
And it's staggering. I mean, you can even go back as far as 4 more games. You know, before these games, that's how well Rick Barnes and company were playing defense. And the first half, just not working for them.
Soljagic. And uncontested rebound to Augustine.
Here's that high screen again.
James. That's a 3.
3-on-2 if they hurry.
Here come the numbers for Texas Tech. Voskuhl ball fake on Abrams. Zeno thought about it. Robertson will take it. In and out. Soljagic, the stick back.
I think that was a better shot by Robertson just then coming down the floor. A little take from 15 under control and a softer shot.
46-37 Texas Tech.
That little hand check in there, he gets away with it.
Augustine off balance.
There's a belief with Augustine that he can get any shot at any time with his game and how quick he is off the dribble.
Even with that deuce from Augustine, Texas Tech is on an extended 16-3 run. Soljagic, the floater. Augustine tracks it down. Now it's a race to the rim. Augustine goes behind the back. And a foul called out front before that gorgeous move by New Orleans native DJ Augustine.
Robertson right there too, Ian. I mean, he's staying right with him the whole time. Boy, that's just a flat-out terrific move. It doesn't count, but watch it behind the back, and nobody can get there. Zeno just a touch late, but they'll take it out of bounds.
Second foul on Robertson. 7-point Texas Tech advantage. Mason. Abrams a 3. Out of bounds. A.J. Abrams comes in shooting 38% from three-point territory. He's been a leader for this team and a clutch performer as well. And we will see Gary Johnson, who was a difference maker in that first half. The freshman replaces the sophomore, Damian James.
Johnson was extremely effective on the offensive side of the floor. You're right on that first half. Very active, got the ball, went for it, and followed up a couple of shots. Nice cut.
And Burgess the finish.
Boy, nicely timed cut there. Just a little bit of a hesitation from the left side. Boy, Texas Tech is shaking off the hangover from Wednesday night.
48-39. Texas already has 4 turnovers in the second half. Connor actually is yet to score. He's yet to attempt a field goal. Augustine, oh, pretty fake. Banker, no. And look who's there. It's Ashley, his first deuce of the day.
And Rick Barnes mentioned that Ashley is one of the most consistent players all season long on this team.
And a takeaway. Mason able to get a hold of it. Just over 4 minutes elapsed in the second half. 48-41, Texas Tech. Abrams moving without the ball. Off penetration. Augustine open look. Rims out on a 3 and a push inside. Soljagic will pick up number 2. And will step aside. Texas Tech coming off their worst loss in school history. They've bounced back so far.
Retirement isn't just about spending endless hours enjoying warm tropical waters. It's not even just about leaping and jumping for joy because you planned ahead smartly. And it's not even about sharing time with family and friends over a great meal whenever you want. Or is it? It's time to start thinking about tomorrow. Ask your financial professional about Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
He's got it. Yes! Yes! Hey, let's order a pizza. Make it a thin crust. You got it.
Hello?
Yeah, we'd like a large thin crust pizza.
Ralph?
Exactly. And you know what? Make it the way I like it. Loaded with mozzarella and toppings.
You know I hate when you do this.
Wonderful. And another thing, make it snappy because we're starving, right, boys?
Ralph.
Chop, chop.
For fresh baked pizza today, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Hey, great pizza, Ralph. Who delivered?
That'd be me.
presenting the 2008 North American Car of the Year. The all-new Chevy Malibu. Built to last, built to love.
2 states, 2 groups of voters playing critical roles. Campaign 08 coverage live from Columbus begins Monday on the CBS Evening News with Katie Curran.
There's no way you can carry all those.
1990. UConn trailed Clemson by 1 point with just 1 second to play. But Tate George snatched the inbound pass and threw up a prayer that was answered emphatically by the sound of leather hitting nylon, claiming a victory no one thought was possible. Son, you got this.
Never back down. Demand real Coca-Cola taste and 0 calories.
Back here in Lubbock on February the 4th, Pat Knight officially took over this Texas Tech program from his father, the legendary Bob Knight. It's not unprecedented for a son to take over from his dad. Some others include Joey and Ray Meyer DePaul. How about Washington State, Tony and Dick Bennett? In Oklahoma State, Sean and Eddie Sutton. And right now, one of the great stories in college basketball, Drake, Keno and Tom Davis. Since the changeover, Bob Knight was 12-8 this year, leading this Red Raider team. Pat Knight 3-4 thus far. Scoring is up, but so is opponents' points per game.
Exactly, and we had a great chance to speak with Pat yesterday, and he was very candid. Obviously, Bob Knight, one of the best coaches ever in any level. And he says, yeah, my father's a Hall of Fame coach. What do you think, I'm crazy? I'm not going to ask him for advice from time to time. So, yes, he does do that, but he also has to be his own man, and he's doing just that for Texas Tech.
Al Ashley pulled the string on it. Air ball from Connor Ashley. Is this Texas team rattled?
I'd say so, yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at it, and they're just not at the comfort level they have been over the last 8 games at both ends of the floor. Now they go into a 2-3 look, and this is where Tech has to be very patient and look for the middle of the floor.
There's Voskuhl fending off Abrams, 15 to shoot. Trevor Cook, our buddy who nearly barreled into Jim Spanarkel in the first half.
What do you mean nearly?
Cook is back in there. Shot clock winding down. He's in some trouble.
He may have gotten hit.
And Augustine able to pluck it out of the air. 7-point game. We are just over 5 minutes gone by in this second half. There are those that believe Texas may be the #1 team in the country. That's how well they've been playing the 8-game winning streak against tough competition. Abrams step back 3. And Ashley's got the offensive rebound.
Whoa, big arm, left arm with Mason. That's going to go the other way.
So Mason, who picked up a technical in that first half, picks up another personal. That's number 3 on him. The Longhorns are shooting 37% from the field, and they've turned it over 11 times. Talked about the 8-game winning streak. See what they're doing defensively, allowing 62 points per game and 36% field goal defense. James comes in for Mason. There's Zeno matched up with Ashley. Zone look from Texas. Tech taking their time here. Robertson gives it up. Burgess, a 3.
If you're going to be that patient against the zones and you're going to stroke it from long range, you are going to be in the driver's seat for most of the second half if you can continue to play that way. That was an excellent set offense. Half-court set, being patient, because what we're seeing Texas do is come out to the perimeter aggressively at times and collapse down deep.
Largest lead of the day. Abrams can't convert. Rebounded by Burgess.
Nice tip by Cook there, too. Couldn't get the rebound, but tipped it, kept it alive.
Texas able to get back defensively. Burgess sets up the offense. Robertson.
Switch to man-to-man here.
Burgess. And it's rebounded by Johnson for Texas. Johnson now needs some help.
Oof, tough place to stop.
Augustine gives up his dribble. It is a 10-point lead for Texas Tech. Augustine directing traffic. High screen from Johnson. Augustine, a 3. And James able to track it down in the corner, a reset.
There's a reason he's gotten 21 10-plus rebounding games under his belt this season.
He's been a rebounding machine. Abrams, the teardrop, no. Whoa. Follow doesn't go for James. They can't buy one. And it's going to be Vosco picking up the foul. That's number 4 on the junior from Bedford, Texas.
I think that's just one of those tough luck fouls that you pick up in basketball right there, unless he reached in the traffic before the play. They're leaving him in, I guess, huh? Watch out.
Here's Ashley. Out along the baseline. James couldn't catch it cleanly initially. Augustine, they give him the open look.
Oh, look at this.
And James off the offensive glass.
It was a scattered set defensively just then. Good timeout here by Pat Knight to get Vosco. I think he'll probably end up substituting him after this, but they were not really organized defensively.
So working the boards. Texas trying to get back into it. We'll continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Big Bang Theory returns with all new episodes. CBS Monday, March 17th.
So, Gus, just how fast is your new broadband from AT&T?
AT&T is taking the speed of broadband to a whole new level. Call to get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet for the everyday low price of $19.95 a month. That's not an introductory price. Act now to find out how to get $50 cash back, plus get a free DSL modem after rebate on select speeds when ordered online. With AT&T, you get the fastest internet for the price. And with the nation's largest Wi-Fi network, you get more high speed in more places.
About that fast.
So call to get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet for the everyday low price of $19.95 a month. And that's not an introductory price. Act now to find out how to get $50 cash back, plus get a free DSL modem after rebate on select speeds when ordered online.
So, Gus, you like your new AT&T broadband? So how fast is that?
AT&T, your world delivered.
I love everything about gardening. I put as much of my resources as I possibly can into my yard and flower beds. One resource that I'm careful never to waste is water. I use water-saving devices like drip irrigation and lots of mulch. Plus, I use Texas SmartScape plants. They thrive in our climate and they don't use much water. Stop by the City of Lubbock's booth at the Home and Garden Show for more information. SmartScape plants are one more way to protect our water resources.
The best coverage of the big story. KLBK News.
Wednesday night against Texas A&M, Texas Tech couldn't make any shots. Today, they're making them from long range.
Long range they are. They're spacing the floor very well. Vosco that time shooting the basketball, swinging it around. Nothing fancy. Burgess knocking one down, and just overall shooting of the basketball. You look at the numbers, 44% on the season, 39%, which leads this conference on. But keep in mind, they don't shoot many of them. They're very selective with it. In fact, they're 67 shots below the next one above them in their fewest attempts from the three-point stripe. But it really doesn't matter if you're not efficient with them.
Charlie Burgess came in at 19% from three-point territory. He is 2 of 4 from beyond the arc here today. 51-43. Texas Tech.
Another zone look here. The 2-3.
Zeno trying to battle his way through it. Augustine there to pest him. Burgess gives it up. Robertson with 7 to shoot now. We'll have to do something quickly. Zeno turns and connects.
Good work of the clock again. One of the things with Texas Tech, that middle of the floor against the 2-3, right around the foul line, is going to be really not fool's goal, but pretty good goal for them, because if they can keep challenging, that'll work for them.
Actually, no. They've missed 9 in a row from three-point territory.
Nice job by Cook just then defensively, keeping James off the offensive glass. Texas with 13 offensive rebounds. That's what's kept them around. They had 14 offensive rebounds in the first meeting this year.
Robertson lines it up. And rebounded by James.
So he's just aiming the ball just a little bit instead of just shooting it natural. Let that arm go out there.
Augustine. Soft touch, doesn't go. Rebounded by Burgess. They've got numbers. Burgess leading the charge. Zeno, he's a slasher, no look. And Cook's got it! And the foul! Who are these guys?
Who they are guys who are willing to challenge, Ian, is what they're doing right now. I mean, I love the patience at the half-court set. And how about that little bit of a delayed break to make things happen?
A team that got blown out 3 nights ago is back with a vengeance.
The all-new Chevy Malibu. Built to last. Built to love.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
You have to be here.
Annie, whatever you're thinking about doing, please don't do it.
I was going to unplug my DirecTV so he couldn't watch all their fancy sports in high def, but that'd be cruel. DirecTV has way more sports in HD than cable. Watching anything but DirecTV? Now that would be painful.
To get the most out of your new flat screen, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Go right onto Buzzer Beater Boulevard. Go left onto Upset Avenue. Take exit Suite 16 onto the highway to Hoops Heaven.
George, the dream is alive!
The road to the Final Four on CBS.
CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life. The power to help you succeed. The new AT&T, your world delivered. And by Chevy, an American revolution. It's the largest lead of the day for Texas Tech, up by 12. Run your bracket competition online with Bracket Manager. It's free and easy to use. Invite your friends, fill out your brackets, and Bracket Manager does the rest. Sign up right now at cbssports.com/Bracket Manager. Trevor Cook at the free throw line out of Coppell, Texas. He's improved on both ends of the floor, transfer from Texas State. And completes the three-point play. Abrams feeding the post. James on the extra feed for Ashley. Abrams a three. James really battling in there, but Texas Tech up to the challenge.
He's fun to watch on the offensive glass. Abrams 2 for 7, the Lion for 3.
The floater for Burgess, it doesn't go. Nothing is coming easy for Texas. Actually thought about it. Now it's Mason using the screen and the finish with the offhand.
Well, one of the things you'll see Texas start to do is really start to plug the ball inside. If that outside shot comes for them, the three-pointer like we saw with Abrams from the corner, they at least will try to start testing the middle of the floor, the lanes, and attacking the basket more.
56-45, Texas Tech. Zeno. And it's rebounded by James. Lead pass. Augustine will catch up to it, but so will Robertson. Getting back defensively. Out of bounds. Texas will have it. Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team to honor their determination and outstanding play. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, an American Revolution. Plenty of time on the shot clock. We are past the midway point of this second half. James one-on-one with Cook. He travels.
There we go. That was the thought process, though. Try to get the ball and start going at that basket as aggressively as possible. Rick Barnes telling him to kick it off, but, you know, if he didn't drag that foot just then, I think Ricky would have had a nice drive to the basket and probably would have ended up with a bucket or at the line.
Voskuhl with 4 fouls checks back in for Pat Knight's squad.
So at the defensive end, I should say, watch who he's guarding. Maybe they'll slide back into his zone to protect him for a minute or so.
There's Zeno to Singletary. Voskuhl being watched by Abrams.
Doesn't drive much, but when he does, he has to be careful.
Tried the backdoor feed, and Cook draws the foul as he took it at James.
Well, that's when you know things are going well. When one guy fumbles the ball who has it, kind of playing the point, he throws it down to the feet of another teammate, and somehow you get to the free throw line. Good things are happening for you.
This Texas Tech team 5-1 at home in conference play. Their only loss came to Oklahoma. And coming up this week on The Late Show, Dave's got Tom Hanks, Howard Stern, and Denzel Washington. Plus, tomorrow catch Kate Hudson and Jack Hanna's Animals. Always a treat. Only on CBS.
Still man-to-man. Augustine is Voskuhl guarding him. You got to believe he's going to try to get the ball. Here we go.
There's Augustine. He's the high man with 15. Long rebound, knocked around and controlled by Zeno.
Wow, look at this.
Voskuhl. Augustine the other way. He's got Mason running the floor. And Mason, the hesitation layup. Well done.
Sure was. In a little retreat with the basketball, the little double clutch to make sure he could guide that one in. Unfortunate for Voskuhl. Boy, did he get a good look. Great three-point shooter.
Can Texas make up this double-digit deficit? Foul called off the ball. It's going to be Ashley picking up his third.
A little slip out on the right side of the floor, and watch that reload with the basketball. Just get it away, tuck it away from the defender who's going to come in and try to strip it right there, bring it away. But that's going from the right side to the left, back to the right to finish it off.
This Texas Tech team has suffered 6 straight losses to Texas. 2-19 since Barnes took over the Longhorns, and it's going the other way.
Robertson with the thought right there. Wasn't a bad one to try to go backdoor against Rick Barnes. Aggressive defense on the wing, but he just dragged that pivot foot.
11 turnovers for the Red Raiders. Voskuhl will sit. And Burgess back in there for Texas Tech. 58-47, 8.5 to play in the second half in Lubbock.
Constant high screens for the guards out front by the bigs.
Spread the floor. Abrams looks for an opening, gives up his dribble.
Pat Knight wanted his bigs to help. There's a tough foul right there.
It'll be the 15th foul against Tech. So Texas will have it on the side as Robertson picks up his third. Now, Pat Knight said to us yesterday, hey, I know there are people around the country saying he doesn't deserve this job, he doesn't deserve the shot. I know what they're saying. I understand it. But what, am I going to turn down a great opportunity like this?
No argument for me.
And another whistle. 8:08 mark of this second half. And it is Burgess picking up his third foul. 6th team foul against Texas Tech.
Well, let's not forget that Pat Knight, one of the other messages he did send to us yesterday, that he's willing to work, he's willing to recruit. He's not going to do it on anybody's name, you know, including his dad's. Now, obviously, he'll rely on him for some advice. Nothing wrong with that. We all do.
Abrams launches. A three. We all rely on Bobby Knight for advice?
Well, I thought I meant dad's, but don't worry about it.
I'm with you.
I would take some basketball advice from Bob Knight.
Bob not here. He's out on the West Coast after visiting spring training with the St. Louis Cardinals for the last couple of days in Florida. Out of bounds. Last touch by Texas Tech. We will step aside. A.J. Abrams trying to lead this comeback for Texas, the number 5 team in the country.
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart.
From the same hands and minds that craft the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. The all-new Chevy Malibu, built to last, built to love.
Whoa, with stuffed crust pizza, you can't go straight for all that cheese in there. Start slow, enjoy the ride, and then bam, you go for the big cheese.
Right.
Nobody stuffs the crust like Pizza Hut Stuffed Crust Pizza, with loads of melty cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. Specially priced at just $11.99.
Second slice, straight for the cheese.
Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
Oh, I'm so glad you two could make it to our wine and cheese party.
Oh, thank you.
Let's go inside. Yeah.
I'm gonna go put my cheese in the kitchen. Gentlemen?
Dude, that's some serious cheese.
You care for a slice?
Ooh, that'll go perfect with this baguette.
And we'll finish it off with this lovely Chablis.
Endless refreshment from start to finish. Bud Light keeps it coming.
Going on a cheese run.
Retirement. It may be a long way off, or another adventure waiting just ahead. Pacific Life can help provide income you can enjoy for the rest of your life. Because retirement could be a very long ride. Ask your financial professional about Pacific Life. Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Back here in Lubbock as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. 58-50, Texas Tech in front. Field goal shooting has come down for both of these teams. Turnovers both are high, including 12 for Texas. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarca. One thing we do know about Texas, coming back has not been a problem. They've got a knack for finding a way to rally from these double-digit deficits.
Yeah, they've done it 4 times already in league play in the first 13 games, and so you have to watch for a team like Texas that can be explosive. Rick Barnes' team didn't work their way to number 5 in the country, and at 24-4 coming in without being able to come back in certain games. But you take a look at these double-digit comebacks this season, trailed by a bunch, and they end up finding a way to win. Not to say they're going to do it this afternoon, but they've done it, so they're comfortable and confident in trying to do it. Let's see if Texas Tech can serve them a message.
Abrams off the timeout, rims out on a 3. Largest lead of the day has been 13 for Texas Tech. Up by 8, just over 7 minutes to play. Burgess swings it. Cook is open. His triple won't go, and it's rebounded by Abrams. Able to take it away from Zeno. Augustine, Abrams, Mason, Ashley, and James. Their starting 5 now on the floor. Mason on a spin. And he gets the deuce.
Interesting enough, Mason runs the point on that play. Augustine and Abrams, the shooters, are really flaring around the baseline. It opens up the middle of the floor. It allows Mason to put some wood on it and go for it.
It's a 7-0 run for the Longhorns. 6:37 to play. And a foul call. Abrams will pick it up. Number 2 on the Round Rock, Texas native. NCAA March Madness On Demand is back. This year you can watch every game from the NCAA Championship live online for free. Avoid the lines on game day by signing up for your free VIP pass right now at ncaa.com. It'll be James picking up that personal. And the 17th foul for Texas, so 1-and-1 scenario here for Texas Tech. Trevor Cook going to the free throw line. Cook seeing extended playing time here this afternoon, and he's delivered 11 points, comes in averaging 4.5 per game. And tack on another.
Barely hits the net coming through. 5 of 5 from the line.
Back to an 8-point cushion. Mason against Voskuhl.
4 fouls here on Voskuhl, so you should be able to go by him.
Nice crossover. Here's James. Abrams slicing. And Voskuhl comes up with a defensive rebound. Robertson steps into it. And James up high for the board. This is a man that knows how to rebound.
He really does. Wow, does he go after it?
What a tremendous athlete. Augustine finds an opening. Tried to leave it for Mason.
You gotta look up.
And a foul called in the backcourt. Free throws coming up for Charlie Burgess. DJ Augustine was looking for a call underneath.
Yeah, he gets way underneath. Let's see what happens, though. He gets down here. He gets bumped just a little bit. He causes the contact first, I think, and that's why they didn't allow the second swat. He wants to discuss it a little bit, though.
James called on the foul, his third. Burgess is a 67% shooter. Transfer from Howard College, now a senior. Originally from New York. He can crack double digits here.
They're knocking back the free throws.
(17 of 21 from the free throw line, 80% for Texas Tech. Augustine forcing the issue. Oh, tough shot. Fading away from the side.
Well, the little guy gets 6'8" Cook out on the floor and recognizes that he can go to any spot and get his shot off, so it neutralizes the size, especially when you can fade away and shoot the basketball.
Still plenty of time. 5:25 to go in the second half. 8-point differential. Zeno travel.
Well, you take a look at this eye, and he has the big guy, drives him in. Now watch where he shoots the ball from. A fadeaway, even with the extended arm of Cook. I mean, he just really understands how to play the game of basketball.
Spent a full month working out with former Longhorn TJ Ford over the summer, and then attended the first ever Steve Nash Skills Academy in July. Well, Texas comes up empty.
And this is where you have to react and get a good shot and an answer right here.
Actually extending out on Cook, and the reach.
That's even better.
Number 4 on Connor Ashley.
That's what you'll start to see now. It's still plenty of time for a Texas comeback if they want to really make one. But what'll happen is the more Texas Tech controls this game coming down the stretch, you'll see just that. You'll see frustration reaches. You'll see feet stop moving and the arms start to flail and reach. And if Texas Tech can hit these free throws, they'll be in pretty good shape coming down the stretch.
Balanced scoring for Texas Tech. 4 players in double figures as James will return for Texas. He replaces Ashley, who sits.
Almost at the point now for Texas to really start to picking it up. We're making sure they get good shots, but taking them a little quicker in the shot set.
Texas Tech has converted on 9 straight from the free throw line. 64-54 under 5 minutes to play. Augustine one-on-one with Burgess. Augustine another fadeaway. Texas Tech controls it.
Here comes the reach. You got to watch now. Just be sharp with the basketball and be patient with it.
And a foul called on James, using the body on Burgess. That's number 4 on Damian James, the versatile big man. And for Rick Barnes, considering the stretch that Texas has been on, not sure he ever could have expected this here in Lubbock.
Well, but you do recall when we spoke to him before the game and we asked him about what do you expect Texas Tech to do and Pat Knight to do this afternoon in this building. And Rick Barnes did say that he knew that Pat Knight would have these guys ready to play. Now, he didn't know whether Pat would be able to get them to perform at a great level. That's up to the kids. But these guys were ready to play basketball this afternoon.
Texas is shooting it at 35% from the field. This is a team that shoots 46% overall.
And the fans know they need to stop once or twice.
Abrams, the floater. A.J. Abrams. Timeout, Texas.
Full timeout.
4:16 to play in Lubbock. It's a 10-point lead for the Red Raiders. More second-half action when we come back.
Funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Right foot, let's stomp. Get funky with it. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? I'm out of here, y'all.
You see a troubled business. We saw superior turnaround potential, offering a smart investment opportunity. Perspective like this has made Mutual Series a leader in value investing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
I've got a proposition for you. A bank.
As in Rob. She got them in.
All clear, guy.
No names, Eddie.
Sorry, Dave.
Way over their heads. Oh, no. The princess. Didn't expect this from you, Monte.
What did you expect?
The Bank Job. Rated R. Everywhere Friday.
Coming up tomorrow on 60 Minutes, a new weapon could change the war in Iraq, followed by Big Brother, Cold Case, and a new episode of Dexter. That's tomorrow on CBS. The game reset. Each team with 3 timeouts. Possession arrow favors Texas. 10 team fouls on the Longhorns, so Texas Tech is in the double bonus.
Now that's huge for Texas Tech right there to take advantage of that. That's the other end of the floor. Once again, make Texas come out and guard you, make you reach.
Big number to look at, Jimmy. Texas Tech is 21 of 25 from the free throw line. Texas is 6 of 9. They have not had a free throw attempt in this second half. The last 12 points that Texas Tech has produced have come from the free throw line. And it's a 10-point lead.
You got to get everybody involved at the offensive end of the floor here. And don't be stagnant with the basketball.
Burgess, a lot of dribbling.
Yep.
They've got Gary Johnson on it. Now it's Robertson with 10 to shoot. Open look, Zeno, book it.
Big time shot right there. Boy, you take that shot clock down to under 10. You're holding the ball maybe a touch too long with the dribbles, but if you knock it back.
Abrams a 3.
Good hands by Cook just then again.
And here comes Zeno.
Nice look.
The dish and the bucket for Burgess.
Boy, with some authority here, Texas Tech laying one on Texas.
It is the largest lead of the day for Texas Tech. Augustine will quiet the crowd for a moment. And timeout called by Rick Barnes with 3:08 remaining. Martin Zeno. That got this crowd into a frenzy. And this added to it. Charlie Burgess in transition.
This caramel mocha Java chiller is so good.
I love this mocha Java chiller. I don't know why, I just feel a little like, ah!
Actually, I think it's a shot of real espresso in there.
What?
Yeah, these have shots of real espresso.
No, they don't. Look, it looks like a shake.
Yeah, it's caffeine.
I didn't even notice.
Well, I do.
Java Chillers at Sonic. A shot of premium roast espresso blended into an indulgent frozen treat of your favorite flavors. And stop in for happy hour. Half-price fountain drinks and slushes every day from 2 to 4 p.m.
Coming up Thursday on Survivor, 2 rivals suddenly find themselves on the same tribe. Who will dominate in an all-new Survivor Thursday on CBS? Well, these Texas Tech fans came in with high energy, and their team has not disappointed them. They played well here at home, but what a challenge you figured they were facing today against A Texas team that was undefeated in the month of February, feeling like they were inching closer to a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And considering what happened on Wednesday night at Texas A&M, a 98-54 loss for Tech. Everything stacked against them, and the Red Raiders have responded.
Boy, have they ever. I mean, I didn't know what to expect even coming in here after watching Wednesday night's game.
Tight defense from Mason Robertson, met there by Ashley. Oh, what a find! But Cook could not get the flush.
Pat Knight up off the bench. He was looking for a smack on the wrist. Didn't get it.
12-point game, 2.5 left. Augustine mismatch with Cook. And Augustine took a tumble as James is fouled underneath.
That's a great foul, too, Ian. 54% free throw shooter. Make him go to the line and earn it.
So free throws coming up when we come back to Lubbock.
Here. As host of Ultimate Recipe Showdown, I see great home cooks face off every week. We looked at thousands of recipes, and now the dishes inspired by our champions are all at Fridays. People spent years perfecting these. There's so much going on here. Smokiness, sweetness, big seasoning, big flavor. You gotta check this out. Ultimate Recipe Showdown menu starting at just $8.99. Give me more Fridays.
What's so great about having the internet in your pocket? Well, then you can see the trail map when you're on the mountain. Find a good place to eat in town when you're hungry. And change your flight when you're just not ready to go home. That's what's so great.
Critics love Dexter. He's putting the bad guys 6 feet under, usually in several pieces.
Feels like Christmas morning.
New Dexter, CBS Sunday.
Greg Gumbel in New York with an update. North Carolina was down to Boston College by 18 in the second half. Came roaring back. Wayne Ellington here combined with Danny Green for 28 in the second half, despite 46 from Tyrese Rice. North Carolina beats BC 90-80. Back to Ian Eagle and Jim Spanarkel.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. Texas Tech with the 70-58 lead over #5 Texas right now. The NCAA tournament, Who Belongs, presented by Sheridan. Let's check out the Big 12. We know Texas and Kansas are in.
Right, well, this is a great conference this year, Ian, so you have to put that right on the bat. You look at the RPIs of these teams, 41 through 32, so Oklahoma with a good win today against Texas A&M, so up for grabs, but we still like those 4 teams right there and knocking on the door. Obviously coming down the stretch because we happen to be in March with 3 great games this afternoon that we've been watching, so the month is upon us.
Damian James at the free throw line. First free throw attempt of the second half for the Longhorns. And he knocks down a pair, 54% shooter.
We'll watch the Longhorns come up, look for double team opportunities.
They handle the pressure in a 10-point game, just over 2 minutes to play. Robertson is fouled. And that's it. Damian James is fouled out. 10 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double. He is averaging a double-double this season. at just under 13 points and 10.5 boards per game. So Gary Johnson, the freshman, will check in. James is done for the afternoon. Ashley has 4. Mason and Johnson 3 apiece. Voskuhl and Burgess 4 each for Texas Tech. 2:13 left. And John Robertson, a 72% free throw shooter. Mr. Basketball in the state of Texas as a senior. Plano High School. He'll shoot a pair. Texas will make it 10 straight NCAA tournament appearances. All of them under Rick Barnes, who's in his 10th year as the head coach. Right now, Longhorns trail by 11. We'll hit the 2-minute mark of the second half. Augustine, the penetration, and the floater goes. Timeout called with an even 2 minutes to play.
They were looking for Abrams on this trip for a 3, but Augustine with the ability to break people down and attack. Look at the floater and the fall away again.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
It's been 3 years since Texas Tech has defeated Texas. 2005, right here in Lubbock. Texas could not stop Jarius Jackson. The sophomore led the Red Raiders with 22 points. Darryl Dora's dunk with less than a minute left sealed the 69-65 win for then head coach Bob Knight. Pat Knight looking for his first win over the Longhorns. Game reset, 1 timeout remaining now for Rick Barnes.
Pat Knight on the hot seat right now as the head coach, huh?
Not really. And a foul call. Abrams trying to use the body.
Foul number 3, A.J. Abrams.
Texas very aggressive, extending the defense. And this is what they have to do. They're looking for charges, looking for opportunities, but not enough space right there. That's a good call from the officials.
So now it'll come down to free throw shooting for Texas Tech. This is a team that shoots it at 71% on the season. Burgess himself a 67% shooter. And rims out. Ashley will come back in for the Longhorns. He replaces Ian Mooney, the senior walk-on. Offense, defense now for Rick Barnes.
And using Mooney for the fouls also.
Ooh. Burgess misses on a pair, the senior.
This is a team that can be explosive, so.
A lot of firepower here on this Texas roster. 1:45 left. Abrams off balance. Johnson is there. Got it to go and a foul. And here comes Texas.
Well, you look at that clock right there, Ian. There's still 1:42 right now. They were looking for Abrams to go deep again as he comes around the corner. And now all of a sudden a little floater comes down. He couldn't get his 3 because he didn't catch it. But Johnson was very efficient and energized in the first half when he came off the bench. And he continues to do that here in the second half.
And Burgess, his afternoon is over. Fouls out with 14 points. That is 9 above his season average of 5. The freshman Gary Johnson completes the 3-point play. Native of Houston, Texas, and now Mooney back in, as you mentioned, Jimmy. Some free fouls there for Barnes.
Yeah, he's going to go find somebody. There he is. He's coming in.
And he will foul Mike Singletary, a freshman 79% shooter. Well, the road to the Final Four continues tomorrow with triple header action once again. It begins with the nation's top-ranked team, Tennessee, hosting Kentucky. That'll be followed by action from the Big Ten, Pac-10, and Big East. It's all right here on the home of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, CBS Sports. So Mike Singletary at the free throw line.
And you look at the Texas Tech team right now. As I look around and look at the bodies on the floor, do you see that collective energy and confidence? They're starting to question themselves. They must hit at least 1 out of 2.
And Singletary gets the second. Tech had made 11 straight at the free throw line. Now 2 for their last 6. This is a 7-point game. Abrams, they need it. 3 ball doesn't go. Johnson had it jarred loose. Augustine is open. Count it, a 3.
Does it ever help to have seasoned guards in the backcourt with Augustine? They have 3 that they play, and Abrams lighten it up.
Texas has used its final timeout with 1:24 to play.
Today, I plan on not freaking out about my wireless bill. I plan on saying whatever when my daughter talks for hours. Yeah, I plan on being totally down with calling Denver in the middle of the afternoon, huh? Hollering at my boys, kicking it with 3-way calling. I plan on grabbing my celly and getting my... Dad! Oh, sorry.
America's most reliable network introduces a plan with truly unlimited calling. Talk as much as you want with anyone in the U.S. on any network, even landlines, for 1 flat rate. That's reliability unlimited. Verizon Wireless.
Well, the job of Rick Barnes and company is to keep the pressure on. And you take a look at the work. Look at all the shirts down deep, 4 of them in the glass, watching the shot to try to get a hand on it. It kicks out to Augustine, who's money. And they got a backcourt of Abrams and Augustine, and it just love these pressure situations. They can score, they can attack defensively, and once again, Rick Barnes is doing a very nice job here of extending this game as long as he can without any timeouts left.
But now the number is manageable. Do you keep fouling or you just sit back and play defense? A timeout taken by Texas Tech as 2 seconds came off the clock. 1:22 left to play. This is a 4-point game in Lubbock.
Whoa, with stuffed crust pizza, you can't go straight for all that cheese in there. Start slow, enjoy the ride, and then bam, you go for the big cheese.
Right.
Nobody stuffs the crust like Pizza Hut Stuffed Crust Pizza. With loads of melty cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. Specially priced at just $11.99.
Second slice, straight for the cheese.
Get more, not less. Pizza Hut. Order online.
Take a look at the game reset. Texas has no timeouts remaining. Texas Tech with 2, 72-68. Red Raiders in front, and now just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, and your point is a good one, Ian. But you know, it's kind of like that's a tough decision for Rick Barnes right now because you want to be very, very aggressive. You also want to be selective on who you foul if you can. But I think I would continue to double team as much as possible. If I bump somebody, so be it. Here they come. Watch this.
They surround Zeno, and there is the foul call. So Martin Zeno, a 75% free throw shooter, the senior, will head to the free throw line. Coming up tonight on CBS, Michael Caine, Robert Duvall, and Haley Joel Osment star in Secondhand Lions, followed by a new edition, 48 Hours Mystery. That's tonight on CBS, America's #1 network. Here is Zeno, Sulphur, Louisiana native. Ooh, flat on that first attempt. It is slipping away from Texas Tech.
Yeah, so when you look at it, Tech, and Pat Knight has the right lineup on the floor. Everybody on the floor is 72-ish or better.
He cans the second, 3 of their last 8 from the free throw line. 5-point lead for Texas Tech. Augustine operating quickly. Swings it. Ashley inside. Johnson turning. Short.
Got a foul now.
Voskel's got it. And a foul called with 1:03 remaining.
And not a bad guy to put to the line. I mean, the way it's been going the last 3 minutes, who knows who's going to make the free throws, but here's your percentage leader, at least 82%.
best free throw shooter on the team. 73-68.
And it is usually easier to shoot than when you have two coming your way.
Voskuhl.
Huge shot coming here. 3-possession game if he nails this one.
He drains it. Texas has no timeouts remaining. 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Mason on a handoff for Abrams. Long three. Count it.
Wow. Boy, they even knew that was coming their way, and he's still got the great elevation to get a good look off. And once again, a quick trap right here. You don't have to foul immediately to get a catch and a double team.
75-71. Wow. They just get it in.
No.
And a steal. Augustine bakes it home.
Well, Texas hasn't gone home yet.
75-73. Out of bounds. Texas Tech will hold on to it.
Now somebody has to take control right now defensively for Rick Barnes, but more importantly for Pat Knight's team. Who wants the basketball? Who's going to come catch it and show a good presence in terms of getting the basketball?
And keep in mind, with 47.9 remaining, Rick Barnes does not have to foul here. Two-point lead for Texas Tech. Robertson will bring it across. And a foul called.
Well, as long as you do it early, Rick Barnes up off the bench saying, what are you doing? Johnson from behind. If you're going to make that mistake, you better make it pretty early in the shot clock.
But the freshman did make the mistake. Right. Rick Barnes told his team no fouls.
Here's that long jumper. Beautifully done by Abrams to keep Texas alive.
And now Robertson to the line. Three-point game. 5 players in double figures for Texas Tech. Now Barnes wanted Tech to earn it. And instead, Robertson gets a couple of freebies. 43 seconds remaining. 77-73. Texas Tech looking to pull off the upset.
240 miles above the Earth, when IMAX needed to power their camera, they trusted Duracell. And if you think advanced technology is only for outer space, consider this. Down here, now you can take up to 5,000 pictures over the life of 2 batteries. New Duracell rechargeables. Recharge in just 15 minutes. They're rechargeables reinvented. So whether it's some amazing shots today, or you're gazing a little further into the future, it just has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Game reset. Possession arrow to Texas. Texas Tech has 1 timeout remaining. And Pat Knight's squad has a 4-point lead with 43 seconds left on the clock. The largest lead was 70-56. Red Raiders with 3:25 left.
And we talked about that ability of Texas to come back from double deficit problems that they've had this year. Rick Barnes really stretching this clock out, doing a terrific job of it. And once again, they have the firepower to come back in a hurry. Watch for a quick drive to the hoop.
Augustine along the baseline, and he gets an easy one on a layup. Back to a 2-point game. And now Texas will foul with 32.8. Shot clock is turned off. And Alan Voskuhl will head to the stripe. DJ Augustine picks up his 4th. There was a moment there where Barnes thought that was his 5th.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, Rick looked at him and said, what are you doing almost? And I think he did think it was his 5th, but only the 4th. So that's a terrific move by Augustine to stop the clock.
Voskuhl is 4 of 4. And shooting them with confidence. 78-75. Texas has dominated the head-to-head against Texas Tech over the last several years. Voskuhl's second attempt. He knocks it down.
I think if you're Texas on, you can still go in a hurry, go to the basket, unless it's wide open for the 3.
Augustine for Ashley gets it back.
There you go.
Augustine, the drive, left-handed delivery.
Nice delivery to Voskuhl again. Now he's taken over for Pat Knight's squad. You see the way he was going to the basketball? You throw in that shirt, throw number 20 right in the passer's face and say, throw it my way, I want the basketball. So get him back on the line. He's got some rhythm. He's the best at 82%.
DJ Augustine has 30 points to lead the Longhorns.
And this is not the easy variety, going to his left and using his left off the glass.
Voskuhl, first attempt, 2-point lead, make it 3. 80-77.
That's a great balance from Texas Tech this afternoon if they can hold on to this one. A huge shot right here.
He nails it. 81-77. 19 seconds left. Mason gets it ahead. Abrams forced to give it up. Mason a 3. Bottom.
And once again, Voskuhl to the corner. You better foul him.
And there is the foul with 7.9. Augustine did not want to foul out in the corner.
Well, we'll see if those 3 seconds mean anything.
Abrams has fouled out.
Now, once again, the ability to spread and flare. Look to go to the left corner. This is another tough shot by Texas. And the entry pass, the Voskuhl will get him to the line again.
So Abrams forced to the bench with 11 points. Augustine remains in the game. 7.9 remaining. Either way, Texas is going to have an opportunity here. Huge free throws. Voskuhl.
One of those all-important questions if you're up 3, right? Do you foul or let them take the shot?
We're going to find out from Pat Knight what is his philosophy. Voskuhl gets the roll on the second attempt. And Texas Tech uses its final timeout with 7.9. Allen Voskuhl is 10 of 10 from the free throw line. 83-80, Texas Tech.
Fellas, welcome to our camp. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just work together with me. Knock it away from him. Use the board.
If you could go to a camp with Coach K.
Bring it in again.
For the same price as one with Coach J.
Taste it. Work it. Nasty.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
It's the same with car insurance. If you could get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys, why wouldn't you? Nobody can match our combination of service and low rates. Get a quote today.
Give me the ball.
Triple header action here on CBS. Wrapping it up on this Saturday early evening with Texas and Texas Tech. The game reset. Texas has the possession arrow. They've got the ball with 7.9 remaining. Down by 3 to Texas Tech.
You see way over here, eyeing this gentleman right there, Voskuhl, 4 fouls on him, right? My indicator right now is I'd have him inside that huddle so Texas doesn't understand what they're trying to do. My guess is then, because he's out of the game right now, that they're going to try the foul and implement the foul strategy right here. But the key becomes, you got 7-9. Long way to go with this ball right now. You want to try to foul, you know, if you can get it to 5-4 seconds, and that's the strategy, but whether you can execute it is the other part of it.
Do you agree with the strategy?
You know, I used to not, but now with the numbers, I do agree with it.
Well, they didn't foul Augustine. 5 seconds left, and there is the foul. So they were able to allow 2 seconds to come off the clock. And DJ Augustine will go to the line. 79% shooter.
And now once again, you're on the throttle a little bit right now, because Augustine, a very good clutch player, can go to the line iron and try to make 2 right now, and if you foul very quickly, you're still probably in the same situation.
It's a 1-and-1 scenario for Augustine.
Must box out if you're Texas Tech. Do not assume anything right here.
Augustine rims out, knocked outside. Lewis is there, a 3 for the tie. No, it's over. It is is officially marked. Who could have seen this one coming? Texas Tech upsets Texas in Lubbock.
Well, what a remarkable finish for Texas Tech to be able to withstand that rush by Texas. They threw everything they had at them in the last 2 minutes of this game. Rick Barnes stretched it out, but Pat Knight's squad was prepared today after a blowout on Wednesday night. That's great coaching. That's a great effort by all his kids on that floor.
83-80. Texas Tech holds on for the win.
Well, you talk about the wild finish right here. Here's the shot. Everybody thinks Augustine has the touch. You kick it out. Bang. An air ball comes up short, and back you go, and it's a finish. What a finish, I tell you. Marsh, you just said it, Ian. It came in like a monster.
The Texas Tech Red Raiders get the win in this deep and storied rivalry against Texas. Alan Voskuhl getting it done at the free throw line as we check out our Chevrolet players of the game. DJ Augustine from Texas, Alan Voskuhl from Texas Tech. In recognition of their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund, Chevy, an American Revolution. So for Jim Spadarico, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Lubbock. Texas Tech gets the win 83-80. Coming up next, it's the road to the Final Four. We'll send you to Greg Gumbel in New York after this message. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship. The madness is underway.